We've gathered here today for episode 4 of For Argument's Sake, where we talk about the latest in sports news and have 4 panelists give their best arguments on each subject. Jumping right into it today, we have a newcomer, first time on the show, in the blue corner, our boy Paid. Paid, go give me a small introduction.
What's going on, y'all? My name's Pay. I'm the baby / little brother of the crew. They brought me along. I'm gonna tear their ass up today. That's all I know.
Big words. Insri in the green corner.
Oh, I don't get to say your introduction?
You should already know that. You've been here.
Okay. Good evening. I get a veteran here who doesn't get any special treatment. Hi, y'all.
Down, Kev, you up?
Oh, salute. Your resident chink in the house. I'm allowed to say that. Calm down.
You are. Hey.
And I ain't getting no ass torn up because I just don't go that way. But let's get it.
Even for $1,000, $100,000 per back shot?
Ain't no for no money.
Man, you're up.
Oh, what's good, y'all? It's your boy, man, like he said. I don't know why I said that, but hey.
You're stupid, Insri. All right. These are our contestants.
This shit's crazy.
A lot of stuff has happened this week in sports. We got 5 questions. They only know 4 of them. They don't know the last question. That will be kind of a little off the top gut check for them. If you're in chat, remember, type the color and then up, or that color with down next to it to give or take points away. This is an interactive show, so chat, y'all make the show what it is. We appreciate y'all's participation, and we love y'all. Now, question number 1. Make sure I do everything correctly here because I'd be messing up. We're starting off with basketball. We're playing basket. All right. We got Draymond Green on Gilbert Arenas' show. Kenyon Martin talked about Draymond Green being a bully, calling him out for his tough guy acts. Specifically, that he only bullies players he knows won't retaliate. You're seeing a few clips of him just being overly aggressive, basically trying to hurt people. Do you agree with Kenyon Martin's take that Draymond is just a schoolhouse bully who only punches down? Why not? Paid, you are starting first. You got 30 seconds. Let's go.
All right. First off, I disagree with Kmart just based on the fact that Draymond has been the heart and soul of this Warriors dynasty behind Steph Curry, who has been the face of that organization. He is in damn near any and all altercations they're in. He put Rudy Gobert in a headlock. He's got an altercation with Isaiah Stewart 2 years ago in Oracle, so I don't know what he's getting at. And he pretty much just stood straight up to LeBron in the finals and didn't show no fear while at it. So I don't know where this is coming from, Kmart. Draymond's an enforcer.
Interesting. An enforcer. I like it. Insri, on you.
I'm going to also disagree. Draymond doesn't just fight people under him. He fights people next to him, above him, near him, away from him. He fights his own teammates, like when he swung on Jordan Poole during practice. Draymond's just a menace to himself and others and anybody in the NBA organization. So I think if you have a heartbeat, Draymond will swing on you.
Oh, Kev, you're up.
Well, I agree with Kmart's take. Draymond's entire persona has been a wannabe Dennis Rodman without the league's respect that Rodman had. He's shown time and time again he's had the proclivity to just aggress and bully players who are either smaller than he is, whether that's in size or just overall role, like bench players and rotation players. He's never aggressive as someone like DeMarcus Cousins or Kevin Garnett. It's always someone he knows won't go back at him, as these gentlemen just said. Rudy Gobert, are you fucking kidding me?
I was about to say that.
Like, come on, bro. Like this is the whole point.
I was gonna say
this is the whole point.
All right, man.
Yeah, so he's a sucker.
Go. You're up, man.
Yeah, I don't know about. I kind of disagree with some of the people that he's trying to note as the people he's punching down to. I think they kind of cherry picked that Draymond's role is to be an enforcer. He's not going to be the flashiest player. He's not going to have all the points, but he's going to do the stuff that nobody wants to do. And he gets it done well and effectively. He's very respected at his role. He goes at everybody, but I think that the more notable ones and the cherry-picked ones are people that would be like a real punch down, like when he punched Jordan Poole. But other than that, nah.
All right. So, Kev, if I remember correctly, because I kind of did zone there, you're the only one that kind of disagreed. Is it you want to touch on that a little bit? Anyone?
Yeah, I just think that I mean, and those of us that are in this show right now, we're old enough to remember, how ball was played in the 80s and 90s, and it was just different. People use the word enforcer, but really, like, he's just a bully because he's an undersized center when they play small ball. But ultimately, like, his persona has to be that way because he knows if it wasn't for Steph Curry, he wouldn't have any legacy, bro. Like, Steph Curry, he's just been hanging on Curry's coattails this entire dynasty. If he was playing for, name a random ass team that's been dog shit for the last 15 years, bro, he would be averaging 5-5-5, and we wouldn't know who the fuck he is. And these are just facts. Like, these are just facts. He doesn't even play that well within the game that they give him. When they lost Klay Thompson, he didn't step up. He didn't make that team any better. So I don't respect the dude like that, man.
Any rebuttals?
I don't know.
Yeah, straight up.
Okay, go ahead.
I say he wrong because, I mean, as far as Steph Curry goes, Steph Curry was there before Draymond Green, if I'm correct, with Monte Ellis and crew, and they was ass. So when they started their rebuild and got Draymond on board along with Klay Thompson, KD and crew, so on and so forth, that's when the dynasty became a dynasty. Draymond has been there for each and every single one of their championship runs. And in their most significant championship runs, we remember Steph Curry turning his behind around and tucking his chin down while Draymond, of course, was suspended. But why was he suspended? Because he put himself into an altercation with the so-called king of the NBA. And he said, it was dumb of him to do that, cost them the series, right? But he still stepped into that role and said, I got your back. This is my team too, and I'm not going to let you just bully my guy. So to that degree, I disagree because who else on that team is going to be that guy in those situations? There hasn't been that. We all know it is Draymond for the Warriors.
All right, so we can move forward. I have a question myself then, because y'all were using the word enforcer a lot, right? Does a non-contact sport like basketball need an enforcer?
I wouldn't say it needs it, but when you have it, it definitely makes teams fear you. Because of what you just said, like it's like it builds on top of the fact that it's not a contact sport. So when people bring contact with it, it gives you something to think about. You're not just all that stuff you was coming to the lane with all that weak shit. They're not doing that against Draymond. They're thinking, and if they do, they're thinking twice about it. An enforcer is that guy who's not afraid to be physical in a less physical game. And like I said, it gives people something to think about when they come down in the lane. It definitely affects the flow of the game for sure.
Okay.
And to add on to that, we think about, like you said, guys like are in the middle in position to make a play on things. When you don't have that presence, or when you are on the other receiving end of that, it makes a significant impact. So it really does matter. So as far as like it being the same style as like the Detroit Bad Boys, no, because you're going to get fined and you're going to get thrown out of the league.
Yeah, they was trying to get shot.
As far as like protecting Steph Curry goes, like Draymond has been that dude. And that's why Steph Curry hasn't made any motions to get rid of that man. Because when it comes down to it, who's going to have his back more than anybody?
All right. You other two? Answer, Kev?
Awesome. I'm sorry.
I mean, I agree with having a presence on your team on a court that's willing to play physical, especially in the playoffs when it does become more physical, right? During the regular season, the whistles do blow, but when the pause, but when the playoffs come, it becomes a far more physical game, and you do want to have that type of presence, on the team. But the question was like, when do you see Draymond? Y'all keep saying he keeps going at these, he goes at everyone, but I really don't see him putting LeBron James in a headlock. I don't see him putting cats in headlocks that would put him back in a headlock. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always him kicking someone in the nuts. or some random shit like that happens, and then he's like, "Oh, I did it on accident." You do that shit on accident 17 times in a season. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird.
Now, I do
He's
agree
always
that he
been
do
weird.
too
He's been
much.
criticized as being weird.
I do agree
and
he
that's
do too
just
much, for
that's
sure.
just facts, bro. Like he's just a weird guy on the court any given time.
I will rebut.
I do agree that he does.
Isaiah Stewart 2 years ago in Oracle, they went at it, and
Isaiah Stewart
has
scrapped everybody.
Exactly, he has that reputation now that he's one of the fighters, and
Isaiah
he's
Stewart
also
is
gotten
one
into it.
Yeah, also fought
multiple
LeBron.
times with the Markieff Morris twins. He's got it in with the twins a couple times before as well. Now, the only player I will say is one individual Draymond ain't fuck with, and ain't nobody else really fuck with, is Ron Artest or Metta World Peace. That is the one altercation where he was confronted and Draymond probably turned around. But then again, who gonna stand up to Metta World Peace like that?
I'm not trying to fight
probably
that,
not
man.
gonna
I tell
happen.
you what.
Motherfucker fought the whole palace. He fought the whole palace.
I'm scared of him currently.
Right.
He may be behind me.
All right, cool. That was good for the first question. We got to move it along. So, next question, moving over to football. We got Jackson Smith-Njigba. I probably didn't even say that right. I always mess his name up. He just broke DK Metcalf's single-season franchise record receiving yards, and it's put him on pace to be one of the top NFL single-season record receiving yard holders of all time. He could possibly pass Calvin Johnson's record of 1,964 yards. That was set in 2012. With the tools that he has on his team, do you guys think he can make it? Question number 2, Insri. You're up.
JSN has been doing a fantastic job. Clint Kubiak's been running a fantastic offense. Sam Darnold still got the magic he had last season with Minnesota. There should be an asterisk on JSN's record if he breaks it, not because if he does it in 17 games, if he breaks Calvin's record, but because the Seahawks are shit from a butt.
Shit from a butt. Kev, on you.
I do think he could break it. He's getting the targets and he's getting the yardage. Those are both obvious keys for a receiver who's looking to break any type of record, like the season receiving yardage record. With 6 games left, he just got to average about 110 a game, which isn't out of the realm of possibility, but they do run up against some good pass defensive teams in the Falcons, the Vikings, and Rams, but they also have favorable matchups against the Niners and Colts where I think he can make up that difference. I'll say he breaks the record, Calvin Johnson's record, but he will not get to 2K. He will not get the coveted 2,000 yards in the season.
Okay, that's a very slim margin. Maine, give your take.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I think he definitely has the tools around him. Like Insri said, Kubiak is known for putting the ball up in the air, and they have Sam Darnold, who's been playing like out of his mind this year. So I think it's definitely possible. I mean, you look at it, and people are going into game plan against this guy, and they're still not getting it done. But if we take a look at how Calvin Johnson finished the season and how where JSN is right now through the games that they've played, he's got about 80 receptions already, and he's only 600 yards off. So I think it's definitely possible.
You're muted. Paid. Round us out. You did.
All right, bet. So first and foremost, you guys see this shit right here. This bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm with the old and with the new, baby. Yes, absolutely. He's gonna hit that. He's on. First of all, quarterback's on fire. 106 QBR, 69.5 completion percent, and JSN is making up for over 52.8% of that. So who the hell is he gonna throw it to? He gonna throw it to JSN, and we gonna go for 2,000, baby. Can't nobody guard that man.
All right. I like the energy. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Hold on. Apparently you're muted. You're not muted on me. Yeah, you were. I lied. That's my fault. Dang. Start over.
It's all good. It's all good.
Nah,
I was just saying, like, to add to what Pay was saying, it's definitely possible because they're neck and neck with the Rams right now in the NFC. Was it is it North? Oh, it's NFC West. I'm sorry. In the NFC West, and they're neck and neck right now. So they need to remain competitive throughout the season. You know, usually later in the season, they want to slow it down, keep people healthy, but they're going to need to remain competitive throughout this season. And with the favorable matchups they have left on their schedule, it's definitely possible. But 1,900 yards is no small feat, man. It's pretty rough, but he's only got 600 yards to go. So we'll see. Well, if he stays on pace where he's at right now, he should beat this record.
Okay. Interesting, Kev, that you think he can get to 1964, but not 2000. Like, it's such a slim
Or
margin.
anywhere from 64 to 1999, right? But I don't think he'll get to the 2K, you know. But I do think that he will break Calvin Johnson's record with the pace that they're going in right now.
Okay. So the most interesting thing to me about that y'all said was Indri saying that there needs to be an asterisk. He does get an extra game, right? Versus when Calvin Johnson said it. How do y'all feel about that?
Can't punish the players for that, bro.
It's not his fault. I wouldn't put an asterisk beside it. If it was like 3 or 4 more games or something astronomical, 1 extra game, nah.
But just look, I mean, my thing is, look how he's outpacing DK Metcalf. He's outpacing him by over 6 games. So for the Seahawks record alone, we should just see like where we're at with this. If he continues on pace, he's going to get that before, you know, the amount of games they would have played in Calvin Johnson's season. So, I mean, if they have to use that extra game to get him over the hump, again, that's not really his fault. But I mean, more so, I can give you getting past that 2000 just based on like right now, Sam Darnold has 2,785 yards on the season. Jackson Smith-Njigba is making up for 52.8% of that. And he's throwing at a 69.5 for completion percentage. So it's just like the law of averages are going to get him over that hump if he continues playing the way he's playing, for sure.
Yo, Paige, I want to ask you something. You know, as the resident Seahawks fanboy here, you know, you've been bringing up Metcalf's name because obviously he beat Metcalf's like franchise record, right? But Metcalf had to play with TJ Lockett for what, 4 years? You know, like, and there were arguments about who the actual number 1 receiver was on that team. You know, JSN's not having to share those targets. So, I mean, he's kind of feasting because he kind of just fell into this system, getting drafted in 2023. He's the number 1 guy. There's no questions. I mean, I think DK Metcalf is, you know, you shitting on him a little bit, you know, unfairly, unduly. You know what I'm saying? I think if he was the bona fide number 1 where there was no Lockett there to absorb 12 passes a game, I think he probably would crush that franchise record. But, you know, that's just me.
Well, I see it this way. When we had DK here, we made DK our number 1 guy. Facts. He had way more touches than Tyler Lockett. That's also facts. And he was demanding the ball from any and all quarterbacks who were under center or on shotgun. Now, the success of our team is very much different. We have a completely different style of quarterback and a completely new offense. So yes, I can attest to that. But I mean, where is DK at now with the Steelers? You know what I'm saying? Things like is he producing as much as, you know, he was in Seattle? I don't think so. And he had Geno Smith as a quarterback. So I'm not going to use that as a plight as far as like our Seattle system. I really give it up to JSN as far as his skill. Not only is he young and entering his prime, but at this point, he already understands the game at every level. You can't guard the man. You can't guard him man to man. He's going to kill every corner you put on him. You can't keep him in a zone. He has the IQ to find soft spots behind linebackers. And he can get over the top of your double and triple coverage. He's proven it multiple times. He's one of the best, if not the best, deep threat in the league for a 50-yard plus bomb. He has way too many weapons. So I definitely want to test it to the comparison of systems. I feel like you could put JSN on a different team. He would keep this output because, I mean, you gave Justin Jefferson a different quarterback when he had Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? We're still getting the same production out of the similar production out of Justin Jefferson because he's an elite receiver. I feel like JSN would hold up those numbers as well.
I respect it. Good answer.
All right. For the sake of time, let's move on to question number 3. And we got some good old UFC, probably the first UFC-related question that we've had on the show. So, got our boy Rampage Jackson. He recently said on his own live stream that he's made more from streaming in the last 8 months than he's made in, according to him, 25 years of fighting. And that's kind of crazy. He says sponsors love him more for his streaming than they do for his fighting. So the question is that I wanted to pose: these guys are putting their body and a lot of times their life on the line, right? With the heavy contact sport that the UFC is. Should they be getting paid more? Plain and simple. Man, you're up first.
Yeah, 100%. They should be getting paid more. I mean, their job is to knock each other senseless. I mean, literally, like it's a very dangerous sport, and I think they should be compensated for such. Like, I'm not sure how much they get paid as it relates to boxing, but I just think about how physical that is and the type of trauma that can build up, especially to the head and neck area over time. I just think that they should be compensated for that. I mean, I know that's not completely up to like just who pays them regardless. It has to be, sponsors and everything else, but
You're
it
done.
definitely should.
Paid, you're up.
Okay. I say they should be earning a share based on how many seats the promoter can sell. At the end of the day, the promotion is really puts the buzz on the fighter. Tough, the Ultimate Fighter was really the point of that for the UFC and for MMA to kind of give it a Western culture. I compare it to the WNBA situation where the players are demanding to be equally paid as NBA, but they don't really come close to the margins as the NBA. And I can go deeper with that with other sports.
Insri.
I don't think they just need to get paid more. What they do need is base health insurance. They've been fighting Dana on that for years. Recently, a fighter got called on 2 days' notice, came in, won a fight, and then went back to his construction job because he needed that for benefits for his kids to be able to get dental work and doctor, like, in medical care. Mm-hmm. And he should be able to get that from the UFC.
Kev, last but not least.
I think the average salary for fighters is definitely skewed due to higher earners, right? But because the question was directly related to Rampage, who falls into this category of high earners, I take the position he got paid well for what he was asked to do and was asked to fighters for how long the actual fights last. Let's not forget, like, there are 3 rounds, 3 minutes, gentlemen. That's 9 minutes of putting in work for a bag. I mean, it's definitely lower for less popular fighters for sure, but that's no different than any other sport. Once you win and have a string of high-profile knockouts or high-profile chokeouts, like essentially your bargaining power for a higher bag increases exponentially. So they control how much money they can make. So I think it's fair.
Okay. Any rebuttals? I don't really have nothing to add on that one. I mean, I did see what you were talking about, injury with the guy fighting and then going to his construction job when I was doing research for it. Completely wild. But, and as I told y'all, like Dana himself has said that he doesn't want his fighters to get paid too much because he doesn't want them getting lazy or feeling comfortable.
We're turning it into boxing, which we all know is fucked.
You think they're lazy and comfortable in boxing? Is that what you're saying?
No. I think that, well, you never know if the match is an actual match, right? Like, because people throw, shit happens. Like, it's corrupt as fuck.
That's
and that goes into because the bags are so large, right? Because they're getting like 40 million a fight, shit like that.
Right.
It gets to a point where it don't matter.
I do agree that MMA fighters should be paid more compared to like other sports like baseball, soccer,
they should
basketball,
be paid well
at their current level of popularity.
I had to.
Yeah, I mean, for like the current level of popularity, like of the UFC right now, is like they still have a lot more groundwork to do in those regards of getting higher, like big ticket money. Because like the UFC came around in 1993, right? Whereas these other sport platforms have been around since the early 1900s, and soccer was said to have been around since Jesus was alive. So I feel like the UFC and MMA still has a lot more groundwork to do in terms of popularity, because like with boxing, it's right. It's going to be a lot more comfortable shoveling out $60 million for Mike Tyson versus there's like where there's more money to be made and there's two more recency relevance versus like trying to hook up Shannon Briggs and Rampage Jackson. It's like it doesn't really go together.
Yeah, I know that's fucked up. So fucked up.
And just for and on Pay's recency bias, in Rampage's situation, like when he was fighting in Pride before the UFC was even a thing, they had to go and get their own sponsors and all that. Because I remember when UFC was still underground before it blew up, they had what was the main one? The Condom Depot and all that. Like they had those little blurbs on the ring before they got the Reebok sponsorship and the Venom sponsorship and all of that, where everybody got a cut. So and that was again, Rampage was fighting how many years ago versus the contracts that they're getting today. And then with the blow up of streaming, of course he could cover his career earnings very easily going on Kick and Twitch versus all the like work he had to do to build the UFC that really he's not getting appreciated for. All the stuff he did for like Spike and for Dana and for Zuffa LLC back in the day.
Yeah.
But
again, I mean, I honestly agree with that, but it's like Babe Ruth asking to be it's like Babe Ruth asking to get the same paycheck as LeBron James or like or like a fucking King Griffey or a fucking Shohei Ohtani. Like it's two different times, two different formats of money. Inflation is involved, popularity is involved. It's just not gonna happen. So I believe personally, streaming right now for a guy like Rampage is the perfect venture.
I'm kind of losing you, Pay.
Support. So, I mean, it's just like it's good because like you're fans of the UFC MMA. They're like, oh, they're gonna be hardcore fans, right? So yeah, they're gonna stick around with Rampage and support him on places like Twitch. Oh, my microphone. Sorry.
Yeah,
they're gonna support him longer term on like Twitch and other platforms and shit because like that's just how the nature of the UFC is, right? They're like more built on like a pride culture, so their fans are going to be glued in longer term, versus like, okay, you're what's the one light skinned? You're Devin Haney. You're hyped for like right now, but are you really making history? People are going to remember Rampage within the UFC forever, but there's a lot of no-name boxers, a lot of undefeated boxers who come and go and stuff like that. So I feel like streaming now that he's retired and he's going to be making way more money is because what he's done in his past. So people are going to support him more today, give him money.
All right. Well, hey, Rampage, if you happen to see this, let me know how to make more money streaming, man. I ain't figured it out. I'm trying to get like you. Shit. On to the fourth question. All right. Back to football and the biggest topic of, I think, sports, period. Shadeur Sanders. Everybody's talking about that man. He just got his first start and a win against the Raiders. Do you guys think that it's Shadeur's time? Is the praise deserved? I lost some stuff. Y'all know the question. I'm sorry. I had so much stuff going on. Man, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think the question was the fact that he's starting now, was that deserved? And I do think when you look at the totality of the season and what they experienced from the quarterback position, I don't see why not at this point. Even if you didn't feel like he earned it in that game, which I definitely do think he did. They opened up the offense a little bit more. They were able to push the ball down the field, which they were severely lacking. The biggest play of the season came from a 52-yard bomb to Shadeur. So he definitely earned it to start in the next season. To say is he start in the next game, but to say he's the future, I don't think 6 games is going to tell us that.
All right. Paid.
I personally believe he should have been the starter from the jump. However, I do like the decision to keep him shelved until this point. It really gave the Browns coaching staff and organization time to weed out their options, leaving nothing but opportunity and no questions to be asked for Shadeur. Is he the future of this franchise? It's kind of hard to say because while he might be the first quarterback to get a win in their debut, they're going to have to show some kind of success or moves around Shadeur to keep his stock high and his morale high as well.
Inslee.
He's the hot hand right now. Shadeur should be the starter over Dylan Gabriel. He's going to go 1-6. He's going to lose the next 6 games. Browns are still shit from a butt. Garrett's going to get the sack record, so that'll be fun. He is not the future of the franchise. They will lose to the Titans because they're god-awful.
The Titans are god-awful or the Browns are god-awful?
The Browns are god-awful. Jerry Jeudy started frolicking on a pass. And caused a fumble. Did y'all see that? He was frolicking. Yes. He started frolicking in the middle of a game. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Kev, go ahead.
So absolute deserve because getting W's is important in a league that tracks wins and losses on QB specifically. So you obviously don't want a guy who goes out there, plays bad, and wins. But that's not Shadeur. He's a rookie. He's only going to improve with more reps and more games. As far as the future of the franchise, I'm sure the Browns are ecstatic to have someone who can win games and sell jerseys and tickets, but I'm still in that camp that Shadeur needs to not re-sign with Cleveland, perform the best he can for the rest of the season for the next 3.5 years, hit free agency because his stock is going to be at an all-time high. And if I was Prime, I would make sure I was in his ear. Do not extend ever.
Ever. Do y'all think he's on thin ice? We talked about it before, but with the way the coach was like, you know, Shadeur's number 17 on a depth chart of only 4 people and stuff, and being very reluctant with him. Do you think that they're looking to replace him at the first possible notice?
I think he's on thin ice because he's been on thin ice. It has nothing to do with Shadeur. The Shadeur situation didn't help, but I think he's on thin ice regardless. This team just hasn't been performing how they should, and we know if that was a black head coach, he'd be gone by now. It's just not acceptable the way that they're playing on offense. They should be able to get more done with the talent that they have, even though they don't have a lot of talent. Their defense has given them way more chances to succeed than they have actually succeeded on. So this team needs to be better. They aren't. He's on thin ice regardless, and the way he handled the situation isn't going to make it any better. Nothing that they did was intentional as far as setting Shadeur up for success. It didn't even set the team up for success. They wanted to charade, they wanted to show, and so now they're terrible. And this instability isn't good for a young quarterback. But he needed a chance to show what he could do. It's just sad that he's with this regime because this regime probably is on their way out.
All right.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say the Browns are the party that is on thin ice with Shadeur. Because I mean, they have if you put the right price ticket on it, you're going to convince somebody to go want to play with Shadeur, right? He's young, he's talented, and he has nothing but a full career in front of him. But the question is, can the Browns get a solid offensive line to protect him? Can they draft or trade for another elite receiver? Can they transition into a more modern style of football with Shadeur being a mobile, throw on the run kind of quarterback? I mean, he can sit in the pocket and pass for sure, but he's pretty much most dangerous in the flood and bootleg sets. So can we adjust? And I mean, as sorry as Colorado was between Prime, Shadeur, and Travis, they had the stands filled, and they had big names who will pay big money to see them now on the next level. So I feel like the burden of doubt is definitely on Cleveland.
All right. Anyone else?
All right, walk with me here.
Let's do it.
Michael Penix Jr., partial ACL tear surgery. Kirk Cousins not re-signing after getting his $90 million. Falcons, no first-round pick. We give up a 2025 fourth and a 2026 second. Shadeur comes to Atlanta and gets to whoop Jeff Ulbricht's son's ass for 45 seconds before
now you
cooking.
Now I see the vision now.
He gets 45 seconds, and then you got to stop. You can't throw him at 45 seconds. You got to stop. Then you beat.
I see the vision now.
I like it.
But I would like to say that I hope we have a clip of the last time we talked about Shadeur and what he should do. That I stated that he needs to stay there because he's behind Dylan Gabriel and it's his best chance to start. And what do you know? he's starting.
Mm.
I just
No,
want
I
to say
said
that.
he
That's
needs
all.
to. He needs to
Y'all
cut
had
bait
all
and
these
get out,
Wonder
man. He needs to
Bread
get out, bro.
scenarios.
If
Trade
that
him
takes
this
him,
way,
if that
do
takes him
this,
to
Nobody
do
go-
ATL,
that.
nobody
then
go back
Now
to
he's
the
great.
on the
clip.
field,
You know what I mean? Look, at the
showcasing
end of the
his
day,
talent, and he won the starting job. Dylan,
I mean,
a lot of
it's
people
hard.
think that he has the starting job because Dylan Gabriel is hurt. Dylan Gabriel has been cleared to play. Kevin Stefanski made the choice to make Shadeur Sanders the starter. That is a clear sign. Well, we all saw it. Dylan Gabriel just didn't have it. But I'm just saying, he earned this. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this was his best chance to get on the field, regardless.
Well,
Sometimes you
it's
just go
hard
with
to
the hot
say.
hand. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I can't call him the hot hand yet. It's only been one game in a quarter.
I mean, given
It's just that
the
Dylan
hot hand
Gabriel
was
is
one
just.
game.
And Dylan Gabriel is just.
It's. I mean,
wasn't
to
enough
me,
to say that what we saw from Shadeur isn't enough. Like it's not even a hot hand. It's just that what we had before that was so damn cold that there's no need to put it back in the game.
It's the hottest hand he got.
Go ahead, Pay.
To that point,
it's
I
hard
concede.
it's definitely hard to say if he will be the face of the Browns, but I definitely can. I can put like a guarantee of an NFL team somewhere down the road. The Browns have definitely had quarterback daddy issues. They've had trouble with a quarterback under their center. They have had trouble getting a solid. They've look in the past damn decade, like what in the world have the Browns done with their quarterbacks? Like I for sure feel as if Shadeur will land somewhere with his playing level.
Okay. Hey, I'd like to see Shadeur be the next Michael Vick.
Shadeur is not a mobile quarterback whatsoever. When they say mobile, they just mean roll him out, put him in flood concepts.
No,
they
I
don't
know
mean
he's
like he
not,
can
like,
run down the
Yeah,
field.
I'm just
flood.
saying, like I meant I'd like to see another. I'd like to
Just
see
what? Just a
in
black
Atlanta.
quarterback
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pay, you being overly critical. When I said choice, I'm just saying he named him the starter. He came out and said it. I wasn't saying like he had any other choice. I was just saying.
I mean,
that
shit.
he went ahead and
my only
announced
issue
it.
is-
I
The
didn't think
Browns
he
have
would
had
do it.
daddy issues.
My only issue is if Shadeur comes to Atlanta, do we have
Well,
to
not
sign
paid. I meant to
Shadeur?
say smooth. My bad. I didn't mean to say paid. My bad.
You
I meant
did
to say
say
smooth.
paid.
I'm sorry, paid. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Andrew.
My only issue is that if Shadeur would come to Atlanta, would we have to sign Shyla? Because that boy filed for bankruptcy like 2 weeks ago, and so he needs a job.
Damn, I didn't see that news.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Sorry. Kev, anything?
Like I said, Shadeur does not want to be the face of the Cleveland Browns. All right, like he's gonna do what he needs to do because he signed that 4-year contract because he drafted him in the 5th round. He's gonna bounce when his contract is up. If he can go play in Atlanta for nothing and go play in a dome, not in that fucking frigid ass weather in Cleveland, or just any open stadium, it will benefit him long term. But really, I think his father is a very smart man. Okay, they're gonna look at what talent is out there. They're gonna look at the draft classes that are coming up. They're going to assess everything that they need to assess and put him in the best position to succeed. And I think that's what's important for him as a young player, that he knows that his father is going to be looking out for him, because the Cleveland Browns organization ain't looking out for him. So y'all are talking about drafting fucking linemen and doing all that bullshit. They don't care. They made him ride the pine for fucking 6.5, 7 weeks. So no, I think he's focusing on himself, and that's what he should be doing. Go out there, ball out, and dip out of Cleveland, let them continue their fucking charade and their carousel of quarterbacks for the next 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is out of his control, though. I mean, he still got 6 games to play. He still got a whole nother season to play if he remains the starter through these 6 games. We don't know what's gonna happen. Like, we're talking like real cash shit off this one game. Like, I really hope he does succeed, because I think they definitely did him dirty by drafting him in the 5th round. Like, he was better than so many other quarterbacks that went ahead of him, but he still has a lot to prove, and he don't have a lot to prove to us.
Shout out
but to the Browns organization, he needs to get it done still. He's got 6 games to do that. So, I mean, we probably need to pump our brakes a little bit, because by him 3 years down the road and making all these decisions, like, he kind of got to do what he needs to do right now, which I fully believe he will. But to your point, it's going to be hard to do that with this team.
Yeah. And I definitely agree. He has a lot more to prove and a lot more groundwork ahead of him. But like I said, the Browns got quarterback daddy issues, so they need to figure it out. And with a guy like Shadeur, he's going to fill seats. So, I mean, as the Browns get better, he's going to be their big ticket guy. So they need to make a decision, and they need to make the proper one, because this continued reputation of them just being the quarterback failure of the league is getting pretty ugly. Eventually, they're just going to be a 32-man running back team.
That'd be hilarious in this day and age.
And one frolicking receiver.
All right, let's round it out with the final question. These guys don't know this question, so we'll give y'all a minute each to say how you feel on the topic. But the topic is more Shadeur. I will have the video on screen if you guys haven't seen it, because you haven't seen it. But yeah. So Shadeur Sanders, after his win again, is being called arrogant and saying that he needs to show humility. He's saying that, he was good. It's just 1 week of practice, and you see what he's done. And some people haven't liked that. They haven't liked him from jump. Again, in contrast with someone like Jackson Dart and other people who in the league who do show a lot of braggadocious behavior, but they don't get that same stigma put on them. Why is that? Is it because his dad? Is there some other underlying connotations? Paid, you're starting this one. You got a minute.
Is this going on YouTube?
Yes, you got a minute.
Okay. Well, I will really say it's because he wears his smile with a verbal confidence. He doesn't just tuck his nose down, shake hands. He's not the Jokic guy that the media will love to put in the spotlight against his will. He has a different kind of charisma than, let's say, like the Canadian SGA, who acts the same exact way. So I will definitely say it also has to do with the whole generational thing. His dad being a former player, as electrifying as he was back in the day, they kind of did the same thing to Bronny. When he came into the league, they just straight give him the axe as soon as he comes into the league. And I just think that is not fair to him. The media needs to treat that boy better and give him the same opportunities they're giving to motherfuckers like Dylan Gabriel and Bryce Young and all these other dudes, because he definitely has the talent.
That's an interesting comparison to Bronny. I like that. Enzo.
It's a weird situation where I feel like both the hate and the confidence are both undeserved. I think that we all know the situation that Shadeur is in, but I feel like the act that he puts on to smile his way through it is something that he was taught from his father, but also that he, if not purposely, maybe accidentally, maybe cashing in on his father's name a little bit. Not so much to the degree of Shiloh, but because he has made plays, but he puts on his positives a lot more than he diminishes his negatives. And I think people, just as any social media, they focus more on the negatives. So I think he's just a product of social media and of the system.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kev.
I'm just gonna say it, right? Like they're hating on him because he's young and he's black. He plays the most highlighted position in the NFL, being a quarterback, right? I don't think that half, even a fraction of the shit that gets said about him, his relationship with his father, if he was like a corner or some shit. But because he plays quarterback, they put this undue pressure on him through racial connotations and things like that, on what this idea of how quarterbacks should behave. But even then, like as you mentioned, you have these young white quarterbacks who are celebrated for having swagger, who are celebrated for going out there and being confident and saying what they need to say on television and shit like that. So I think it's funny that Paige brought up Bronny, because we all know that Shadeur can play. Bronny cannot play basketball, bro. I'm just gonna straight up tell you, he cannot play NBA basketball.
Your time's up. Let's get into that after Maine goes. I definitely want to hear that. Maine, go ahead. You got a minute.
Yeah, I was wondering why it took so fucking long. And it's very funny that the less melanated person got to that point before any of us melanated people got to it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's obvious. When Brady did it, it was called moxie and passion. And when Odell did it, it was called being a diva and being a distraction. It's obvious. These type of tropes have been forced upon these types of players over and over and over again. You're not allowed to be confident because it's arrogance if you're black. I mean, I hate to play that card, but it's the world we live in. It's built upon that. It's a direction that they always go in when it comes to this. Now, do I think that him being Deion Sanders' son is an aspect of the amplified hate? Yes, I do. That's just going to come with being someone as great and as, passionate and as like outspoken as Deion's son. And he's doing well. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with being that confident. It's actually what allows him to excel. But people just don't like to see him do it and win. That's a problem.
Spit. All right. Go ahead and hit up that. You want to talk about the Bronny James comparison? Kev?
Yeah.
Or Pay, whichever one of y'all want to start.
I mean, the reason why I even made the comparison is because, like, a big reason why Shadeur is getting a lot of his hype and buzz is based on his father is one of the best NFL players to play. Like, just straightforward and simple. The nepotism is there, and a lot of people don't feel like he deserves that. I feel he does. He deserves his opportunity, just like Bronny deserves his opportunity. Because believe it or not, Bronny is a good basketball player. I ain't saying he's the best, and this is the thing. People call him trash because why are we directly comparing him to his father?
He's
We
definitely
shouldn't be
not trash.
doing that. He should be getting the rookie treatment, and he should be getting his opportunity. And he is developing each and every single game he plays. He's getting better and better. I mean, you can't expect this guy to be the best in the damn NBA his first season of the career. That's a rare thing to do. He can't be Wemby. He can't be, all these other guys who have just came straight into the league and made an immediate impact.
All right, I'm having to cook. I'm gonna cook. All right. First of all, don't make me Google LeBron James' son's stats when at USC for the single season that he decided to play. What did Shadeur Sanders do at Jackson State? Oh, and then what did Shadeur Sanders and his father do when they went to Colorado? Right? Turn that entire program around. Bro, if you want to talk about nepotism in a sense that one of those individuals, one of those sons got help, and then the other one got unfairly judged and treated. Shadeur was the unfairly judged and treated. Bronny, his father got him drafted. There's only 2 rounds in the NBA. He got him drafted after averaging like 6 points at USC. Are you kidding me? If he was out there balling like OJ Mayo, circa like 2009 or whatever, okay, I'm all for it. But that was not him. He was not that talented. He should have never gotten drafted. He should have walked on and got onto a practice squad and then, like you said, worked his way up through the ranks. That was not him, bro. And so I think they have 2 different stories. One of them is being protected and being cared for, and then the other one is being ostracized because of both, as his main said, both of who his father was and what his father was able to do for the last 30 years, both being a player and now being a coach. And he's being unfairly judged and treated because of that, and then also because he's a black quarterback in the NFL. So I think the comparison doesn't really hold any water, bro. Like, there's really nothing to stand on there. But I get what you're saying, though, Paid, but they're 2 completely different situations.
Well, I mean, Bronny did play in the G League. They did send him through the developmental league, and it's not like he's a starter getting all the minutes on the team. He's still a reserve, very much so. So, I mean, the Lakers are developing him as a player, and really they're keeping him on the team to extend LeBron's career as much as they can, really, to, I mean, as far as talent goes, the Lakers don't really need more talent. Versus like when you're bringing in a Shadeur Sanders, they're looking for his talent to impact. But I mean, are the Browns really looking for that? Seeing that they've kept him shelved all the way through week 12, right? So I mean, that's my biggest plight there is on the fact that, yeah, his father is Deion Sanders. Automatically, they're going to question if his son is stepping up to the plate. We do this with all these dudes' son. We do it with Magic Johnson's son. We did it with Michael Jordan's son. We do it with Carmelo Anthony's son, Dwayne Wade's son. We do it with all these dudes' sons. So I feel like that all comes into a role of play. However, the level that Deion Sanders and LeBron played at, their children are directly going to be impacted by that easily. And I mean, it's not to say that Bronny just had a hand like a yellow brick road into the league. The media butchered this kid. Other NBA players butchered this. Like Jaylen Brown was caught fucking pillow talking on this man to some hoes he was tricking on at an NBA game. Caught his ass publicly live to Angel Reese and one of her friends, whoever the other lady was. But literally had people talking on this man's name, and he really hasn't had, any reason to do that other than, oh, you're just LeBron's son.
All right, you other two want to chime in?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, yeah, Kev is right. When you talk about, Bronny's skill level being a draftable player, definitely should have been someone who went straight to the developmental league. He should not have been drafted. But we gotta think about this too. Like, we talk about second round picks in the NBA, we don't. We don't talk about second round picks in the NBA at all. So that just speaks to the point of being scrutinized because of who your father is, which I think was Page's original point. He wasn't comparing him in the sense that he can be as effective as Shadeur is. A fifth round pick in the NFL is equivalent to a late first round pick in the NBA, because in the NBA, outside of like the top 15 draft picks, no one gives a fuck. So, I mean, and we all know, to that point, though, Shadeur was not a fifth round talent. He was at worst a third or late second, especially when you consider who went before him. But I just think that what Page was trying to say is that the scrutiny that he was getting was amplified because of who his father was. I mean, on the same token that we could say, he would have never made it to the league if he wasn't LeBron's father, we can also say he wouldn't be a topic if he wasn't LeBron's father, because, I mean, that's obvious. But what I'm saying is no one usually focuses on anybody who goes in the second round, and they're keying in on this guy for just headlines. So the scrutiny was amplified just because, I mean, you knew he's not going to live up. LeBron was the most highly touted basketball player in the world out of high school. So, I mean, he never even touched the college floor. And so he was going to be held to some ungodly standards no matter what he did. So, I mean, they were comparing LeBron to Jordan out of high school. What do you think they're going to do to his kid? So, yeah.
Yeah, but he delivered, though. That's the difference, right? And I would say a lot of that hate that you're talking about.
Yeah, but he didn't have anything to, he didn't have a legacy of, like, they were comparing him to Jordan because he was so good. But he didn't have to live up to that. He didn't have to be Jordan.
No. I mean, but there was a lot of pressure.
Bronny has to be LeBron, and that's not going to happen.
Yo, man, wouldn't you say though? A lot of that media coverage about a second round pick and Bronny James, a lot of that was because, as I mentioned, he played not even half the season at USC, averaged 4 points per game, but still got drafted in the second round. You see what I'm saying? Like,
it was because
we could probably go back in history and look at how many 6'2" guards have ever didn't finish their college season and then get drafted by scoring less than 5 points per game. Probably like 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I bet you there are college players right now that average double digits and didn't even get drafted at all. They're not even on last. They're not even latched on as a practice squad member. So the fact that
I don't disagree with that at all.
So you don't think that he got drafted at all because his father's cachet, or reason why he even ended up with the Lakers?
I said I don't disagree with your point at all.
I thought you said you didn't agree. I was like, oh, that's great.
No, okay. I was just saying that we don't talk about second round picks in the NBA at all. And the only reason why it was a story because he was LeBron's son. I mean, that's the only reason why they're talking about it, which I also think is unfair. Like, I mean, Jordan's sons never even made it to the league, and he's the greatest basketball player of all time, right? He had two sons, just like LeBron. He had 2 sons, and they didn't do anything. They didn't even really get burned on their college team. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, I think, like I said, Page's original point was that there's some unfair scrutiny and a lot more attention than it should be because of who their fathers are. True. But in Shadeur's case, he kind of earned that because of his production, and he deserved to go earlier. So he was going to get some light shine on him, but it was completely amplified because of who his father was.
I say a lot as well goes into modern media and how they depict young Black individuals and how confident they are as 100%. Well.
Yeah.
And to the point of, just legacy is always going to be a talk. Like, what's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr., what's going on with Archie Manning down in Texas. Like, and that's not even his father. Like, that's just every time Archie does something good or bad, they show Peyton or a picture of Peyton or a picture of Eli, or cut to Matthew McConaughey for some reason. So like, for some reason, just anytime you have some kind of, and that's just media these days. If you just have something you can use for clicks, it's gonna be important to connect those two so you can get social media output in any way, shape, or form you can. So, but again, we're all going to go back to the point of the social media or the tin hat of Dion kind of fucked his son, and Shadeur kind of fucked himself by saying, "I don't want to back up Lamar on the Ravens at the combine," and that kind of, I feel like that's what started the cascade of him dropping all the way out of the first round.
All right. Anything else? Closing statements on the matter. Everyone said what they needed to say.
Let them brothers play.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode, boys. Cue the clapping sound that I never put on my soundboard. Kev, I think this is your first time winning.
You have a clap somewhere.
Yeah, it is. It's shocking. Yo, salute.
Let's go.
to
Hold
all
on.
those in the chat.
I haven't said you
okay.
be doing your outro yet. Give it a second. But hey, salute all those out there in the chat. Thank y'all again for coming and voting. Again, the show hinges on y'all's participation. So I am grateful to y'all. Thank you. And Kev is y'all's winner this time. All right, now, Kev, you're blown up. Give us your shit.
All right. Just make sure you go to youtube.com and look up For Argument's Sake. Like the videos, like the uploads, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when the uploads come if you can't make it on those Tuesdays and sometimes Wednesday nights. But all in all, I just want to say appreciate chat for their involvement. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have a game show if it wasn't for you. So thank you for participating and for listening to us talk our shit. And I just want to salute to Maine, Ensry, and Paid. Thank you for subbing it in that last minute, homie. I appreciate that. And good job, man. Good job on your first show, man. Proud of you.
Oh, for real, you did real good.
You did. The only reason
I
why
was
your
like,
point's so
damn.
low, not even gonna hold you, is because your internet kind of shaky. Your cam be stopping.
Yeah, they was
your
holding that shit
mic-
against you.
Flower,
That's
and Flower was
fucked.
hating.
They was holding that shit
Number one-
against you.
Florida,
That
number
shit's
one
crazy.
We got to work on that next time, but you definitely
I was like, where you find him? I'm like, what?
Yeah, I accept. Thanks, you guys.
Flower so mean.
Yeah, my internet's out in this area, so I'm on Verizon hotspot. It hung
Big
in there,
hotspot.
you know, hung in there.
Next time,
Hotspot
hopefully
up.
he'll be on
Yeah,
regular.
I
on
accept.
regular. All right. It was a good time. Thank y'all for coming this week. We'll see y'all next time. We out.